Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw the Scavenger Ray also have a high relic requirement.
Right.
Because I mean, this is the next level of her, so I
Yeah.
would expect the Rays to have higher relic requirements than everything else.
That's
So
going to be painful.
I would not be surprised if Scavenger Ray had Relic 7. I hope that's not the case. Yeah, my bad, guys. Oh, okay, we've got a lot to talk about tonight, and the big news is, of course, the next group of Galactic Legend requirements have been released. We have some discussion about that and a 180 that CG has done there. Also, there has been the kit reveal, and Raddus has been released into the game, so we can talk all about that shit too. But, I mean, we gotta talk about the big news of the night, and that is the next set of Galactic Legend requirements put into the game. So, in order for you to continue to work on unlocking both these characters for Galactic Legend Ray, you need Ray Scavenger at Relic 7, Resistance Pilot at Relic 3, and Poe Dameron, the Episode 7 Poe, not Resistance Hero Poe, at Relic 5. And then for Kylo Ren, you need his Masked Kylo Ren version at Relic 7, Captain Phasma at Relic 5, and First Order Executioner at Relic 5. And I just want to go play in traffic right now. I jokingly said that, you know, I would not be surprised to see her, Scav Ray be at Relic 7, and here we go. We have both her and Masked Kylo Ren at Relic 7. This is a bit rough. I mean, it makes sense because, you know, we have the Galactic Legend versions of these, so it makes sense to see both of their previous versions have the highest relic requirements, but still, putting 7 relic on Ray Scavenger when she's like a mid-tier character now, that's a tough pill to swallow. That's gonna be a lot of materials on a character that you're likely to never use again unless there's something in the Galactic Legend Ray that makes her more powerful with Scav Ray, or Scav Ray suddenly becomes more powerful in Resistance teams. That's a lot of wasted relic resources likely on a character. I mean, for Kylo Ren, you can make the argument that he still works in an unmasked Kylo Ren team. He has that boost in turn meter to all your First Order allies. You can still make a push for him in a First Order team. You can't do that with Ray Scavenger. Resistance Pilot only being at Relic 3, that's not so bad. The weird thing is that it seems to be lower requirements for Ray versus Kylo here, where you have a character at Relic 3 and you have 2 characters at Relic 5 for First Order. Maybe that gets offset in another set of requirements later down the road, where suddenly a First Order character needs Relic 3 and there's 2 Relic 5 requirements for Ray. So that's not too bad. The Poe Dameron at Relic 5, he's getting kind of pushed out. He's still a decent tank with your Resistance teams, so that's not too bad. Captain Phasma, she's a completely outdated leader at this point. Not a lot of people really use her in First Order teams anymore, so you could probably find a use for her somewhere. And then First Order Executioner at Relic 5, I can totally get behind that. I actually have a Relic 5 First Order Executioner, and he just wrecks face when he's thrown in with that Masked Kylo Ren lead. So I don't think anyone's going to really regret putting Relic 5 on Executioner, because he's going to hit like a friggin' truck with that relic level, and he's going to be fantastic for your First Order teams. So I don't really foresee any kind of issues with a Relic 5 Executioner. Those are not wasted materials versus something like Captain Phasma or Relic 7 on Ray Scavenger, which are 2 characters you're not really going to use too much anymore. But the big news comes in this important note here, in that they in the first level of Galactic Legend requirements put out, they actually said that not all characters are going to require relics for this event. They stated this, and this got a lot of people hoping that, you know, hey, we're gonna see some of these characters not require relics, and then they pull this 180 2 weeks later and they throw this in, and it feels like a kick to the you know what with this kind of 180 by them. I mean, I'm not trying to be mad or be too negative here, but to get that kind of hope 2 weeks ago and then have it snuffed out like this really just, it doesn't sit easy with me. I know a lot of people are upset about this, and honestly, at the end of the day, it's not the most surprising to see like Relic 7 on Rey and Kylo Ren, but this whole thing where they're suddenly going 180 and suddenly making all characters require relics, that I don't really like that. I'm not a big fan of that. I wish they hadn't really dangled that carrot and kind of given us that false hope in the first place, and then do this. That just doesn't look good. But yeah, so that's the next level of Galactic Legend requirements for these characters. Let's go ahead and talk about something a little more positive. Let's talk about the ship, the Raddus, coming in soon. And it honestly looks like a very interesting ship. We'll see how things go. These reinforcements are so weird. It makes you think that we've got more resistance ships coming at some point. And actually, all these ships here that you see listed as synergy suggestions are the ships you will need to unlock the Raddus through events. So Poe Dameron, X-Wing, Resistance, X-Wing, and Rey's Millennium Falcon, 3 resistance ships. You'll need them all, but then you get some other interesting ones. Ebon Hawk, Houndstooth, Ahsoka Tano's Jedi Starfighter, and Lando's Millennium Falcon. Now, of those, you can make a push for Lando's Millennium Falcon because of Episode 9. Not going to get too crazy with that, but everybody knows Lando comes back in Episode 9. You know he flies around the Millennium Falcon. You can make a stretch with Lando's Millennium Falcon. The Ebon Hawk is a weird ship requirement to put in here. Unless there's something I'm missing, some kind of connection between the Raddus and the Ebon Hawk that I don't know of. That's an odd requirement to throw in there. Ahsoka Tano's Jedi Starfighter, I mean, maybe we'll see something with the sequel to Rebels coming up soon. Houndstooth, I mean, Houndstooth goes with everything, so, I mean, it's not that crazy. But also, you will need all these ships at 7 stars to unlock the Raddus, which is a, wait for it, a 4-star unlock. So yeah, we'll need 7 ships at 7 stars to unlock the Raddus at 4 stars, and then there is an event where we get 10 blueprints of the ship each time through the event. It's supposed to repeat 1 to 2 times a month, so much like we get with the Fleet Mastery battles already with the other capital ships, minus the Chimera, we'll be seeing the same thing with the Raddus. And honestly, the Raddus doesn't look half bad. The ultimate ability looks really awesome, and if you can tell by the icon around here, you already know what that ultimate ability is going to be. But, I mean, her crew power, when max leveled out, resistance allies deal 40% more damage, have 75% bonus protection, and at the start of the battle, resistant allies gain Deflector Shield and crit immunity for 2 turns, Deflector Shield being a new buff, and whenever a resistance ally loses Foresight, they gain Evasion up and Protection up for 2 turns. And when the Raddus uses the Holdo maneuver, grant all allies advantage, tenacity up, and deflector shields for 2 turns, with the reinforcement bonus being reinforcements gain stealth for 3 turns, and if that reinforcement is resistance, they gain deflector shield for 2 turns. Now, deflector shield, we'll get to that here in a moment. The basic for the Raddus is target ally gains 20% turn meter, foresight for 2 turns, and is called to assist. If that assisting ally is resistance, expose the target enemy for 2 turns, which can't be evaded or resisted. The recharge deflectors, which gives you the deflector shield buff for 2 turns and 50% turn meter, and also tenacity up. At the start of the turn, recover 25% protection, doubled for resistance allies, and gain foresight for 2 turns, can't be copied. I'm starting to see a pattern here. I don't know if you guys are seeing the pattern as well as I am. The other special, Outlast, dispel all debuffs on all allies. They gain protection up for 2 turns, recover 50% protection, and gain 20% turn meter. All resistance allies gain deflector shield for 2 turns. Okay, are you guys seeing the pattern here yet? I'm seeing that this is going to be required for something specific here soon. Dispel all debuffs on all allies. They gain 100% turn meter, inflict heal immunity and buff immunity on all enemies for 2 turns. Then sacrifice the Raddus to destroy the enemy capital ship. Call a random reinforcement if able to. This ability cannot be evaded, starts on cooldown, and is reduced by 1 each time a resistance ally with foresight uses a special ability. There is a lot of protection regeneration, a lot of foresight, deflector shield, evasion up. There's a lot of survivability going on with this ship. I can guarantee you this is going to be a ship that you're going to want in the ship raid. We already know that raids are usually about durability or turn meter reduction. This ship oozes protection up, bonus regeneration. This ship has a lot of that, a lot of tenacity up buffs. I mean, there's a lot of turn meter, protection up. There's just a lot of stuff here. This is a very heal-heavy ship. It's going to be a durable fleet, whatever you throw in here. And if you throw in resistance ships with it, you're going to have a fleet that is just going to be hard to take down. Now, the question is, do they have the damage to also back up this kind of durability? Right now, no. We do not have a lot of resistant ships. The ones that we do have, none of them really stand out except for Poe Dameron's X-Wing, and that's because of his reinforcement ability. So, honestly, I'm expecting we're going to see more resistant ships. I think we're crazy not to at this point. We're going to have to see some more in order for this to really stand out as a strong fleet. I do think that with the Raddus, some resistant ships, and some other ships thrown in as well, throw in something like the Houndstooth with this, man, you're talking about a fleet that's going to take a long time to die. That's a huge deal. And I think the Raddus has potential for being a strong capital ship for durability required events like the raid or something else in the future. So the Raddus looks like a solid ship. I think it will have some good long-term use for this event, for this game, whether it be the ship raid or something else. I think that is going to be a pretty solid character or ship that can really take you far. It is going to take a long time, and I hope, fingers crossed, hope that we do not have to have this ship at 7 stars to unlock the Galactic Legend. That feels like way too soon, and that would just be an utter paywall and a big middle finger to players if they require 7-star Raddus to unlock the Galactic Legend Ray right away. So, wrapping things up here a little bit, General Hux and First Order Sith Trooper are now farmable. They're a little early, which is a welcome surprise, and I also pretty sure means that they're going to expect us to get them for Galactic Legends. So, if you guys have not started farming them, farm them now because you are going to need them for Galactic Legends. I'm calling that. There's the event for Raddus, we already talked about that. Some minor bug fixes here and there. There's like the Vulture Droid. Nothing that really stands out. There was one change to Ki-Adi-Mundi that they brought up here earlier. Ki-Adi-Mundi's ability, Adaptive Form, is now immune to cooldown manipulation. They talked about how there was ways you could reduce the cooldown on this, and also you could increase the cooldown on this. It is now a straight 2-turn cooldown. You can no longer make it shorter or longer. So that is a buff and a nerf at the same time, I guess. Places of Power is now scheduled for the 28th, my birthday. This swaps with Rebel Roundup, which is now moved to 2/24. Some missions in Phase 1 of the Geonosis Darkside Territory Battle have been updated to include other Geonosis environments. Phase 4 of the Geonosis Lightside Territory Battle has also been updated as well. And then there's a bug with the Chimera that they're not really talking about here. I guess the Chimera is probably too powerful or something, or not powerful enough, because players aren't already getting kicked in the face in the Lightside Territory Battle anyways. So for now, players will only be facing Executrix. So for now, I'm guessing that the fleet battles in the Lightside Geonosian Territory Battle are going to be a little bit easier for players. So that is it for this video. Let me know down below, what do you guys think of these next Galactic level requirements, the Galactic Legend requirements? What do you think about the Raddus? Let me know down below. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time.